Among the vastness of the universe, orbiting one of its many billions of stars, there exists a very special place, a place called Earth, a world of vast oceans and stormy seas, a world of magnificent clouds and life-giving rain. It is a world of towering mountains and frigid ice. And most of all, it is our home of spectacular beauty. Journey with us as we adventure together to answer these fundamental questions. What does global warming mean? What is global climate change? As global temperatures rises and the climate changes, the weather gets weird. The hots are expected to get hotter, the wets wetter, the dries drier, and the most violent storms more numerous. Our Wolsey Wood Honors Earth Science will tackle some of the following topics.
Hello, we're here live at Wolsey Wood campus, and we're going to ask students what they think about climate change. Hello, we're doing a survey to see how many Wolsey Wood students know about climate change. Would you like to be part of it?
Sure, yeah.
What do you know about it?
Global climate change is the change of the Earth over time, such as weather patterns and temperature changes.
I know it's the greenhouse gases increasing, which causes the Earth's temperature to rise.
Isn't it just the Earth warming up?
Well, yes. Do you know the effects it has on Earth?
I know the ice caps will get affected because the Earth is getting warmer.
With increasing temperatures, the ice caps in the poles will melt, leading to higher sea levels, which the average temperature of Earth will also rise, and then that will mean there will be more CO2 in the air.
What do you think is the cause of global warming? Do you think this is a human problem or a natural occurrence?
It sounds like a problem that happens on its own. It's not my problem.
It's a human problem. The amount of carbon monoxide we put into the air is bound to get warmer.
Alright, we just wanted to ask one more question. What do you think are some actions we can take to prevent climate change?
I guess we don't drive as much because it wastes a lot of gas.
If you can't afford it, just invest in solar panels. They save energy and fossil fuel that comes into our air.
Alright, thank you so much for your time, and I will see you guys next
Okay, so now it's recording your video.
Welcome to ARA News, where we are coming out here with the newest and about
You're
changing
just going to
landscapes.
let it play all the way through, and once
As
you're
global
ready,
temperatures are rising,
click
Arctic
stop.
mammals are being affected more and more as the days go on. Going into our near
This one?
future,
It's already on.
with these vast changes, it will affect not
Already
only
on,
animals
it's
but
recording
ourselves
right
as well.
now.
To put this in perspective, sea levels are rising at 0.04 millimeters per year on average due to the shrinking of ice glaciers.
And once you're done,
Here's a
you're
graph
going to click pause
showing the
and
rapid
stop
decline of
video. There's
more than
another
1,000
button
cubic
down
miles of
here,
ice
and I can't
disappears.
see it because the toolbar's on.
When the ice
But you
melts,
can
it
stop
causes
it.
more than
Stop
just
it.
rising sea level. It flows into soil, further affecting the vegetation that supplies food for animals at lower altitudes. Going into our next area of concern is the rising levels of CO2.
And now coming us live from Antarctica, Athena.
It's Athena Brombacher here, live in Antarctica. Polar ice caps have been melting, and they have been melting fast. We are losing Arctic sea ice at a rate of 13% per decade. Over the past 30 years, the oldest and the thickest ice in the Arctic has declined by a stunning 95%. Plantations. These drastic changes are heavily affecting our wildlife. Now back to Ryan and Anthony.
Thank you, Athena. There are many solutions that will fix the melting ice caps and rising sea levels.
As we know, global warming has a big effect on us. One way that can slow global warming down is the use of solar geoengineering, which is a proposed type, which is a proposed type of climate engineering in which sunlight would be reflected back to space to limit or reverse human-caused climate change.
In regards to rising CO2 levels, one way to fix this is to lower the amount of driving that we do. You can carpool or even make investment in a hybrid car or an electric car. As of 2017, the amount of transportation-related carbon dioxide emissions eclipsed the amount of electricity generation emissions. We have made the attempt to fix all these problems like mentioned before. We are using solar geoengineering.
You heard it here first, folks. Melting ice glaciers and permafrost is a serious problem, and changes need to happen now. Thanks for tuning in today and getting the latest in from AI News.
Yo gang, the climate is declining and the sea levels are rising. There has not been a lot of publicity surrounding this topic. While the rising sea levels may seem unnoticeable, even the smallest changes can cause irreversible damage. So we're here to bring you the facts.
Warming is causing global mean sea levels to rise in two ways. First, glaciers and ice sheets worldwide are melting and adding water to the ocean. Second, the volume of the ocean is expanding as the water warms. When ice sheets melt, it forces deep water to rise, as well as increase in temperature, which leads to thermal expansion, which negatively affects ocean life.
Rising sea levels lead to many unintended consequences. Sea levels are expected to rise 50 centimeters by 2100. This rise in sea levels will bring forth irreversible destruction, erosion on coastlines, flooding, intense weather storms, loss of habitat, and increased ocean salinity.
We bring to you a live interview. These individuals will show us how life has been affected by rising sea levels. Those that do not live by the coastlines are starting to witness these impacts, not as much as those who live near the coast. These rising sea levels roughly impact 160 million people in the US alone, 600 million people worldwide.
I have no way of living, no shells to sell. Now there are no more beaches for me to collect shells. They were all eroded away. This is the only beach I come to for peace of mind. The little bit that is left, all of the shells are deep into the ocean, never to be seen again.
This is impacting my life so much. My home has been destroyed. I lost my wife. My kids are gone. I'm alone with no house. It's all gone. First we had to deal with all the trash in the ocean, and now this. Get it together, people.
A global problem that affects us all. All living things are affected by rising sea levels. It is important that we all do our part in stopping sea levels from rising. This is a man-made problem and we are all capable of solving it. We need to act fast or the effects will be irreversible.
So what can we do to help alleviate this problem? The cause of sea levels rising is because of a rise in global temperatures. An increase in global temperatures is caused by an increased use of fossil fuels, which causes the greenhouse effect. As a society, we need to transition away from fossil fuels and towards renewable energy. This will help alleviate the greenhouse effect and save our planet.
Oh, listen to what we were saying. This information is important for everyone to know. So please share with as many people as you can, or we will all die.
This is your local news station coming at you alive. For now, for while it lasts. Good luck and become a strong swimmer because this is a sink or swim situation. So let's hit some new PRs.
Hi, my name is Jerry Gavino, and this is Carlos Hinojosa, live from BBC News, reporting on the weather.
Good evening, folks. In the past 3 years, climate change has increased the severity of tropical storms like hurricanes. 56 severe weather storms have been recorded to exceed 1 billion in damage in the last few years. Now, we cut to our weatherman.
This is Dakota Friend reporting live from Wolfiewood High School. Today it's a nice 69 degrees outside, clear skies. We're having a very nice day. How's it over there at your mom's house, John?
Thanks, Dakota. We're reporting live here from your mom's house, Honolulu, and we have pretty clear skies up here. But, however, Hurricane Ding Dong is on its way, and it's getting worse and worse. And this is pretty much true, folks. It's showing you that severe storms are really getting worse as it's finally clear. Whew. Yeah. So, Dakota, I'm Oh my god, climate change is real, but climate change is real. Please recycle.
Hey, you're wrong camera.
Oh, wow, well, that was pretty hectic. Let's hope JJ is doing all right. Little Jane, do you have anything for us?
Oh, yes, actually. The NOAA has suggested that an increase of Category 4 and 5 hurricanes and an expected increase of winds by 10%. The number of storms may stay relatively the same, but the severity and strength will increase in tandem with climate change.
Nice.
Cycle.
Has increased the severity of tropical storms like hurricanes. we had it this time. We had it this time.
He gulped. Hi, my name is Jane Gavino.
I hate you. The way you said you were really I mean, it's here, and it's really bad, and I'm feeling horrible. Oh my god!
We cannot do that.
Miss Ludwig's gonna be mad.
Hi, my name is Dominic Supine, and today I'll be teaching you guys about wildfires. During drought conditions, fuels for wildfires such as grasses and trees can dry out and become more flammable. Drought can also increase the probability of ignition and the rate at which fire spreads. Why does it matter? The fires would be less likely to spread and increase in size if there were less droughts in the U.S. Back to Jeremy.
Hi, this is Jeremy Rice, and I'll be giving you further information on our topic. Is this local or global? Droughts are a global thing, such as Moldova sits at number 1, Ukraine at number 2, and Bangladesh at 3. What's been done so far? The destination of water would help all around the world because only 0.3% of the world's fresh water could be helped globally. Why is this topic important for people to know? The dire things around fire and more flammable they get.
Back to Dom.
Thank you, Jeremy. Who and what does it affect? The groups affected by droughts are wildfire and our society. Secondary effects, or does our problem lead to other problems? Droughts can shrink their food supplies and damage their habitats. Sometimes damage is only temporary, and other times it is irreversible. Proposed solutions. What can be done to reduce these effects? Use mulch to reduce evaporation. Using turf also helps. Raising your lawnmower height also helps so you don't have to water it as much.
Thanks, Don. As you can see on the map, droughts all over the world. Blue representing the highest drought risk and yellow representing the lowest amount of risk. It matters because droughts drastically hurt countries economically, and people could really suffer from this because a lot of countries depend on rainwater for their water supply. Over to Riv.
Thanks, Jeremy, for the information. When you're in a drought, wildfires become more saturated because everything is dry and fire uses that as fuel. When did it arise or how has it changed over time? Droughts can be triggered by a high level of reflected sunlight and above average prevalence of high pressure systems.
Good morning, this is KCRA 3. It is Monday, April 25th, and I am Megan Torgerson here with our topic of loss of biodiversity due to climate change.
This is Dana with KCRA 3 News, and climate change currently affects at least 10,967 species on the ICUN red list of threatened species, increasing the likelihood of their extinction.
Hi, it's back with Megan Torgerson, KCRA 3. Here we're talking about all of the pollinators here we have in our local habitat. These will all become extinct sooner or later just because of the climate change reducing different populations that these pollinators live in, which can also affect crops that we eat such as coffee, corn, beans, etc.
Another huge issue concerns our oceans, which makes up most of our world. It is becoming evident that climate change is affecting biodiversity both on land and water. Coral reefs will likely decline by further 70 to 90% in the next few years. Global warming is causing the world to heat 1.50 Celsius above pre-industrial levels. This heating can kill aquatic life such as crabs, sea slugs, and much more.
Essentially, this topic is not only local but global. Everywhere from the high mountains to the low valleys is impacted. Research shows that climate change has harmed migration patterns, shifted species distribution, unsettled species interactions, and contributed to population decline. The term species refers to plant life as well as animal life.
We here at KCRA understand that this information seems like a lot, and it really is. However, there are things that we can do as individuals to improve biodiversity loss and its effects. First of all, we can conserve energy here in California by not overusing power. Make sure to pick up litter even if you didn't put it there. Actively defend and clean local habitats within areas such as Peña Adobe, Alamo Creek, or the edges of the Panama Canal.
Thank you for being attentive listeners. We hope that you have retained valuable information today.
Together, we can save our environment from climate change!
This is Science News, and today we're going to be discussing a big topic on social media: climate change. Evidence has shown that global temperature has increased and it's the highest it's ever been. With us living humans and animals, it's going to be harder for us to live, and as well as predict weather patterns.
Today we're out here searching for climate change protesters, so let's go find some.
Oh, I see one!
Excuse me! Hello, what's your name?
Hi, my name is Rogelio Mesa Cardenas.
And what are you protesting for today?
Well, I'm protesting for climate change.
Why is climate change so important?
Okay, so you see, climate change is very important to me because it could affect a number of things on Earth, from increasingly severe weather patterns all the way up to the failings of future crops.
How is climate change affecting you personally?
Well, you see, here in California, we've been affected by increasingly severe droughts, and I personally have had to evacuate due to a wildfire.
What do you suggest people do to prevent climate change from getting worse?
To prevent climate change from getting worse, you could take public transportation or non-carbon emitting forms of transportation, such as bicycles, and also voting for legislation to reduce carbon emissions is also pretty important and very helpful.
Thank you for your time, guys. Now in this current graph that is shown here, we can see how even climate change can divide our people, with which party takes climate change as their priority. Science News suggests taking action now to take control of our world's climate. See you next time, guys.
Without grass, kids wouldn't be allowed to have juice. Without trees, we wouldn't have oxygen. What do you suggest people do in order to prevent climate change? Why is climate change so important to you? Why is climate change so important to you?
Well, you see...
What was I saying?
Evidence has shown... Wait, why am I forgetting it now? Evidence has shown that the global temperature has increased and the height has ever been... I'm recording.
Oh, you're...
Oh my god, it's so hot outside, my back, it's dying!
Don't worry, ma'am, I'm a vet! Okay, breathe! It's
This could have been prevented.
Heat-related illness and the rising of the Earth's temperature are rapidly decreasing the Earth's biodiversity. Over 23,000 endangered animals have died from heat-related illness due to falling out of trees.
Meanwhile,
what's going on here, doctor? She's suffering from a heat-related illness. Heat-related illness is when somebody's temperature rises too much and it causes them to go into a state of stress. I'll save her. Thank you. Oh, wait. Delicious. Water stacked. She's dead. This could have been prevented.
This graph shows an annual representation of how many people suffer from heat-related illness each year. How many people each year end up in critical condition due to heat-related illness? This could be prevented if more people were educated on how to protect themselves from heat-related illness. To prevent heat-related illness, use sunscreen, drink water, and wear loose-fitting clothes, and stay in the shade.
stay in the shade.
I'm Mrs. Ludwig, and I approve this message.